But let's start this video straight away with one of the best beach towns that you can find in Costa Rica, that is
Tamarindo.
Tamarindo, a beautiful long beach. But let me show you a little bit and then I'll tell you why. So why do I like Tamarindo Beach so much? Because the waves are so easygoing and very forgiving, perfect for beginners like I am. So I started 1 week ago, I had my first lesson, and then every single morning I've been out in the water. High tide is probably the best time to be in the water, but even low tide, you know, if you stay eastern of the beach, you still get some nice waves, like 1/2 meter waves, very long, perfect for starting. If you're looking for something more intermediate, you stay west of the beach, or you go to Playa Larga or the Long Beach, which is after the river from Tamarindo. Very easy going, you can either paddle there or you can take the boat. Tamarindo is also a beautiful place to stay, you know, because of the restaurants, the bar, the village. It has really everything. There are many places to stay here in Tamarindo, but you need to be careful because if you are close to the action, to the nightlife, you won't have much sleep. And for this reason, I've written a guide about all of the best areas to stay here in Tamarindo so that you can have a quiet night and during the day you're going to enjoy your surfing. And here I am in another beautiful surfing town of Costa Rica that is called Santa Teresa. It's about 4 hours by bus west of San Jose, a little bit less if you come by car. The waves you can find any kind really. If you stay south of the main beach, a little bit more gentle. The central part are more for the intermediate, and there are a few challenging ones as well if you want to try something bigger. To start, however, I suggest going to Playa Hermosa, which is around 2k north of Santa Teresa, the main town here. Over there you will find very long and gentle waves, perfect for starting. The town itself develops along the beach, but just behind actually the palm trees. There is a main road, and from the main road there are plenty of accommodation of any style really, from beautiful expensive villas to plenty of hostel too, because this place it's very famous for backpackers too. My only suggestion here is to stay far from the main street. Couple of reasons: plenty of bars and restaurants in the main street, so it's quite noisy, and it can be very dusty based on where you stay, because part of the main road is paved, part is not, and there are huge potholes. And the locals put also some water just for the dust, but then it turns out that you get mud. So it's a little bit of a mess from that point of view. And for this reason, I've written a full guide to where to stay in Santa Teresa, with a few also tips on areas and accommodations too. But how expensive is to rent a boat here in Costa Rica? Personally, I paid an average of $10 for sort of a half-day, full-day rental. If you want it for 24 hours, it's gonna cost you more. There are a couple of exceptions. First one is Tamarindo, which I pay only $6 for 4 hours. It was a bargain in my opinion, because honestly I can't do more than 4 hours of surfing in a day. And then there was Santa Teresa, which is actually one of the most expensive locations I've been in Costa Rica, and they charged me $15. Overall, I think it's a good price for a half a day, full day of fun. On my long trip to find the best surfing towns in Costa Rica, I stopped yesterday night in JACO, which is about 1 hour and a half from San Jose. This is probably the most popular place, most popular town I've been so far. And the reason is that obviously it's so close to the capital city, so you have plenty of people coming down for the weekend, which is just now actually. Yesterday afternoon was high tide, and I enjoy so much. Long wave, especially if you stay in the southern part of the beach. When it's low tide, like now, it's around midday, very, very long beach. People just play football, they have a drink, chill out, and that's what you need to do when there are no waves. Just chill out and enjoy the life in Costa Rica, isn't it? Back in the afternoon, high tide, beautiful waves. I enjoy so much the last 2 hours with this longboard. So it's not only for beginner, but also if you do longboard, this is the place to be. Absolutely great afternoon. But now I'm gonna go back in the water for the sunset in the last 20 minutes. about if you want to have a lesson? Well, usually the average cost is between $35 for the group lesson, maximum 3-4 people, to $75-80 for a one-to-one lesson. Personally, I suggest to take the one-to-one lesson because so much better value. And if you take 1 or 2 lessons during your trip, is more than enough. It's all about practice. I'm gonna add also in the video description the Google Maps link of the shops that I have visited, so you can have sort of overview of the places where I'm renting, and I had a very good experience. But there are so many more options in every single surfing town. Another beach town that you should visit is Uvita. It is very, very famous because of its whale tail shape that you can see from the top. I arrived here a couple of days ago. I didn't find actually any wave in Uvita, but I drove south about 2-3k and I went to Hermosa Beach. Yes, yet another Hermosa Beach. Absolutely stunning, beautiful waves, perfect for starting and intermediate. You can use either short or long board. There is a mix of everything here. And the beach itself is absolutely stunning. You can also rent a board if you want, so really all of the facilities that you want. And here I am yet in another surfing town called Dominical. It is about 20-30 minutes from Uvita, north of it, so you can also think to stay in one surfing town and visit the other on a day trip. Why do I like a lot Dominical? Because really it has all the surfing conditions. If you come to Dominical Beach, you have beginner and up. If you go to Dominicalito, you know, you have more of a beginner style wave, so very small, flat but long. Perfect to start your surfing experience. And in weeks like this one I have at the moment in December, where the waves really are not many, still Dominica delivers, so you get some good waves for beginner, for intermediate, and a small set probably of challenging one if you're looking for something more hardcore. The town itself is a typical surfing town with accommodations here and there, a few restaurants and cafes, really all you need for your holiday. And with this surfing town, I'm gonna close this video just because otherwise it becomes too long and you start mixing up beaches as well, which I'm starting to, by the way. But I've written a full guide that you can see in my video description with so much more information about these surfing towns that I have listed here in this video, plus others that I couldn't include in this video.